It's Monday, September 9th, 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please like, share, subscribe, and all that other good stuff. I know somebody's going to say, oh, JB, you say you're not political. I'm not political. I'm going to vote based on who's going to be beneficial to the economy, who's going to cut taxes, who's going to open up energy, who's going to get rid of bureaucracy, who's going to help small business, who's going to help the military. That's who I'm voting for, not political. I'm going to vote purely economically on this election. It doesn't matter what side they're on, if they're Libertarian, Republican, Democrat, it doesn't matter. I'm going to vote for the person who I believe is going to help the economy, help small business, help the average American living paycheck to paycheck, who is going to cut taxes and who's going to promote capitalism in this country and not socialism. That's who I'm voting for, not to be political. I hope everybody out there votes, whether you believe in it or not. I think everybody needs to get out and vote. Now, let's get into what's happening today. Dow rallies more than 400 points. In fact, it rallied 484 points. NASDAQ was up almost 200 points today. Markets across the board up. Everything, again, is near all-time highs. Why is that? Well, because it's the hope that rate cuts are coming very, very soon, that we will see multiple rate cuts now, and that's all these markets now want and believe in. It's not that the economy is booming, it's not that the average American is getting ahead, that the average worker is making more money, that things are getting better. No, it's the hopeism that we're going to see multiple rate cuts. And so while markets are at all-time highs, Big Lots files for bankruptcy protection, sells to private equity firm as it promises to keep offering extreme bargains. This on CNBC. Nexus Capital Management has agreed to buy Big Lots for $760 million. Looks like Big Lots will be closing around 300 stores. So you're going to see a lot more vacant real estate and a lot more people losing their jobs. Here's another one today to just reiterate and remind all of you how great the economy is. Illinois Trucking Company, MTI, Midwest Transport Inc., 650 employees no longer have a job. That's 480 drivers, a total of 650 employees. This is in Robinson, Illinois. So more people not going to have a job this year. The layoffs continue to climb, and they're going to continue to climb all the way through the end of this year into next year. So they can tell us how great everything is because the stock market is in the green. And we know that it's in the green because of the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars that was injected into it artificially. And typically the top 1% have really benefited while the U.S. economy has been sacrificed. The U.S. worker has been sacrificed. Your small business has been sacrificed. Your standard of living has been sacrificed so that we can go on the television and go, oh, look, market's at all-time highs. Isn't everything great? But you don't have a job. You don't have any money saved up. You have no net worth. You have a lot of bills. You're living paycheck to paycheck. But everything's good because Dow Jones, NASDAQ, everything in the green today. Economiccollapse.com, preparing for a crash, ? Warren Buffett has been selling off hundreds of millions of shares in 2024. Why would he be doing such a thing when I'm watching the television today and they're telling me that I should be buying into the most overpriced, overvalued stock market of all time? Why is he pulling money out while they're telling you to put money in? Apple shares. He dumped 500 million shares of Apple this year. Bank of America, he dumped 150 million shares. That's around $6.2 billion. So what does Warren Buffett know that the average person does not know or does not want to know? You got to ask yourself this. Why are the big dogs, these billionaires, getting out of the market while everyone on the television is telling you to jump in, buy the dip? These prices are literally on sale, even though they're completely overvalued. And this is the biggest bubble stock market we have ever seen, the biggest housing bubble we've ever seen. And yet they keep telling you to buy a house. They keep telling you to jump into the stock market. I wonder why. Don't do what they're telling you to do, ladies and gentlemen. Do what they're doing. Do what Warren Buffett is doing. He is building up a war chest of cash because he knows what's coming. U.S. debt is so massive, interest costs alone are now $3 billion a day. You can check this out on Yahoo Finance. Somebody the other day told me things aren't that bad. Things aren't that bad. Right here on Yahoo Finance today, U.S. debt is so massive, interest costs alone are now $3 billion, with a B, dollars a day. This is absolutely disgusting. Here's another one, the Daily Huddle. U.S. national debt explodes by $684 billion, to be exact, $684,322,497,000 in 3 months, as Fitch warns America has failed to fix growing debt burden. The U.S. credit rating service, Fitch, continues to sound the alarm. Last year, we went from AAA to now AA plus for a credit rating. Ladies and gentlemen, things are not that good, because if they were, we would not be adding this type of debt. We would not be seeing these type of deficits. Yet people say, oh, it's not that bad. Stock market's at an all-time high. There's 8.6 million jobs out there. How many of those jobs are fake? How many of them are part-time? How many of them are low wage? The average person now, the majority of this country is struggling. They're food insecure. They can barely make it to their next paycheck. Many people have to go get to a payday loan to make it to Friday. People have exhausted their credit cards. They've exhausted their bank accounts. And we are just getting started. Imagine what this is going to look like by the end of the year. This will be a horrible holiday season as far as retail. People are going to borrow more and go deeper into debt, but people don't have as many credit cards now to borrow from. They're getting tapped out. 20% of cardholders have already maxed out. This is going to be very, very bad for retail sales for Christmas. I would imagine probably any day now, I'm going to see the Christmas trees and ornaments and snowmen at Walmart and Home Depot coming very, very soon. Here's another one today from CNBC. Jumbo 50 basis points Fed rate cut should not raise, alarm analyst says. I have a question, and somebody out there can please answer it. Why are we cutting rates anyways? Today, gold's up, silver's up, oil's up, Bitcoin's up, market's up, everything is up. Why in the world? I mean, we're talking GDP is up, wages are up, unemployment's down. Why are they cutting rates? They should be raising rates. They know something and they're not telling us. We all know this thing's in shambles. I know just as well as you do, most of this data is completely rigged. I get it. But going off the data, how does the Fed justify, I guess we're going to find out very, very soon, how do they justify that this rate cut, that this is the right time to be cutting rates when everything is at all-time highs? Gold, all-time highs. Bitcoin moving back up. Markets, all-time highs. I mean, it's unbelievable to think that in this environment they would be cutting rates and not raising rates. We're going to find out what happens when they do. But 50 basis points, I think that would be a big problem. I think that if they did cut 50 basis points, gold is going to have a record breakout day if they do 50. I hope they do. I don't really care one way or the other, because this thing is going down. There's no way they're going to stop it. They need to cut rates. They need to raise rates all at the same time. They've completely created the biggest financial disaster we've ever seen. Ask yourself, has the Fed ever been able to prevent a recession or depression? No. They create them. The same people who created this mess, you believe are going to fix this mess by what? Cutting rates? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. This is, again, what got us into the mess. Cutting rates too low for too long, pumping in all these artificial injections into the market. And this may be a sugar high for a little while, but this is going to cause big trouble. 25 basis points, 50 basis points, whatever, they're going to cut multiple times. This is going to cause more inflation. This is going to be very, very bad for the average American. Boar's Head, linked listeria outbreak. Stop and Shop, Albertsons, Target, other stores affected. Well, of course, I remember Albertsons maybe a year ago, they were carrying Dietz Watson deli meat. Then they went to Boar's Head. I think they better go back to Dietz Watson. I certainly am not going to ever buy Boar's Head again. And what happened is a complete a tragedy for all these people that lost their lives, people who became deathly ill. And my question is, what happened? Where did all these agencies go that were supposed to be watching this and protecting people? You know, we rely so much on the system that it's looking out for us, that it's protecting us. And none of these agencies, where were they? Did anything to stop this? This didn't just happen overnight at Boar's Head. This had to be happening for a while. And nobody did anything about it because probably nobody went and even inspected it. If they did, they turned a blind eye. I don't know. But we rely on the system to protect us. And the system, again, let us down, did not protect us. People lost their lives. People got extremely ill. And we probably will never know how many people really got sick. But it's a reminder to all of you, don't rely on the system to protect you, to save you, to come to your rescue. The system is collapsing. The system is broken. You are on your own. Now, look, that doesn't mean don't go to the store and buy food or whatever. But it is a reminder that they're not really doing what they say that they're doing. And think about how many other foods have been infected, how many other recalls we have seen. You know, they want you to get your car smogged every year. They want you to drive EV. They want you to do this. They want you to do that. Take a look at the garbage, the chemicals, and the poison in our food today. From a box of cereal to a bag of chips to what's at the drive-thru at the fast food restaurants. Look at what is in our food. If they really cared about you, maybe they would do something about the food that we're eating. So let me know your thoughts on that. This was pretty funny. Kevin O'Leary rips workers who waste money buying daily cups of coffee. What are you, an idiot? He says. O'Leary advised people to stop spending money on stupid stuff like daily sandwiches and coffee purchases. He says, you know, basic cup of coffee, $5.50. A sandwich, $15. He says, what are you, an idiot? People are pissing money away. They're spending $15,000 on coffee and sandwiches every year. And if you're making $50,000, $60,000 a year, that's a huge hit. And he's absolutely right. I don't agree with everything O'Leary talks about or says, but he's 100% correct here. We have all got to stop buying dumb stuff. I've cut out going out for coffees. When I did, I would only get them at McDonald's. They were like $3. But now I make all my coffees. I'm making 90% of my lunches. So I've really cut that out. And I've noticed I'm really saving money. And I'm eating much healthier. I'm drinking a better quality coffee. I'm making it. I'm making my lunch, which is typically fish, rice, something like that. Or a good piece of meat. So I'm eating cleaner, I'm eating better, and it's costing me less, and I feel better about it. And so I want to thank everybody out there who was riding me. Why am I going to lunch? Granted, now there are going to be times when I have to go to lunch when I'm out, I'm traveling. We're going to be in LA with Jack Morgan. Make sure Friday that video should come out. Sid, Enrique, myself, Jack Morgan, big show coming from Los Angeles. That should air on Friday. We will go out to lunch. We will go to Tacos 1986 in Los Angeles, one of my favorite taco joints. So there are times when you're out and about to get lunch, but Tacos 1986, phenomenal. So anyways, make sure to check that out. So I just wanted to share some of these articles with all of you. Feel free to comment down below on any of this. The hopium, the hopium, whatever you want to call it, is alive and well. These markets are literally dying for rate cuts. And my question is, people think that some miracle is going to happen, that their credit card payments are going to get cut in half, that their mortgages are going to get cut in half, that they can go buy a car now, and that everything's going to get less expensive. A couple 25 basis rate cuts is not going to do much, ladies and gentlemen. What it's going to do is cause even more inflation, more layoffs, more trucking companies closing down, food prices still going up. Another, 250 million to Eastern Europe. We're giving money to people all over the world. Extremely inflationary. Extremely inflationary. It's going to be getting worse. And when you're literally adding $1 trillion of debt every 3 months to the United States economy, you have to think about who's going to pay for this? How are we going to pay for this? Don't expect inflation to go anywhere but up. And anybody that believes it's only 3%, I got a bridge to sell you. I really do. But most of you are too smart for that. Most of you know, you go to the grocery store, you're getting increases in your car insurance, your health insurance, your property insurance. It just continues to go up. I don't know how people are doing it. All I can do is say, hang on, do the best that you can, continue with the side hustles, do whatever you have to do to not lose your job. The layoffs, the tsunami is coming. It is going to get brutal out there. That doesn't mean that we get complacent. We continue to prepare. We continue to work hard, do the best job that we can. Think about the side hustles. Think about, earning extra money, doing something. You got to think outside of the box here. We got to keep our bodies in shape, our minds in shape, our spirits in shape, and just keep plugging away day after day. And hopefully, after the election, maybe we see some improvement. Don't expect it though. I think I'm going to make a forecast right now. It does not matter who wins the election. This is not going to be easy in 2025. I think that after the election, this is when we begin to get the real data, the real numbers, real unemployment, real inflation, the real housing numbers. This is when we begin to get the real stuff. And I think that people are going to freak out when they find out how bad it really is, because they don't know how bad it is right now. They're going to. A lot of people do, because they've already lost their jobs. They've already lost a car through a repossession. They're already moving back home or having to get roommates to survive. So a lot of people already realize that. But millions of people believe that a miracle will take place after this election and they're going to be okay. Don't expect that to happen. I know who I'm voting for. Again, I'm not political. I know, oh, look, I'm political. No, I'm going to vote for the person who believes in small business, who believes in energy, that believes in making this country safe, believes in the military, police, believes in cutting taxes, believes that, companies should be making and manufacturing right here in America, et cetera, et cetera. That's not even political. This is business. I'm voting purely on business, not politics. I don't care, again, if you're a Republican, Democrat. I'm voting purely on business. With the person I vote for, am I going to save money and make more money and save on taxes? Is my gas price going to go down? Are my utility prices going to go down? Is the cost of living going to go down a little bit? That's who I'm voting on. And I don't expect that to happen overnight. I expect that in 2025, it's going to be rough. It's going to be rough. But I'm going to vote for the person that I think is going to go to bat for me and loves this country. And that's not political. I'm voting purely on economics, not emotions. Not the way somebody talks or somebody looks or how they do this or that. I'm voting purely on economics, not emotion. And I think you should vote on economics and not on emotion. And you should be voting on who's the person that is not going to be sending your kid over to another country to die on some foreign soil to protect another country. That's who you should be thinking about, because one person will send your kid over to another country 10,000 miles away to die for another country. One other person will not. So you better really think about who you're voting for, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm not saying you're getting political. I'm not telling you who to vote for. Don't vote on emotion. Vote on economics. Vote who's going to keep us out of war. God bless. Stay safe. Thanks for tuning in. Talk to all of you soon.